Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session. You are watching challenges in improving agricultural products part 4. So children, we have been discussing how to improve the agricultural products. Okay. In that we have completed the 3 sessions. So in the irrigation, the advantages of irrigation, that is irrigation is the means of providing the fresh water that is rich in hydrogen and oxygen to the crop plants, which are most critical requirements for the development and enrichment. Okay, this irrigation ensures the crop cultivation at any time of the year and does not remain confined to a particular season, isn't it? If proper irrigation availability facility is there, then any season we can grow the crops. It provides ample amounts of water that is rich in nutrients, and this ensures that the number of branches in the crop plant increases, which in turn increase the crop yield. Even in the deserts, a proper supply of water through irrigation helps in reducing the salinity of the soil. The water is taken from the river basins and enriched with nutrients, which in turn helps in improving the soil fertility and crop yield. For irrigation purpose, many dams have been built across the water resources to restrict the flow of rainwater and also to prevent soil erosion. Okay. Nowadays, there is a lot of importance for the construction of dams. The factors controlling the irrigation, if you take nature of crops, nature of the soil, climatic factors. The various irrigation systems we are following, the canals, through canals the water can be drawn, through wells. The wells are of 2 types, dug well and tube wells. Nowadays tube wells, the tube wells collect the water from the deeper strata, which is lifted with the help of electrical pumps. Okay. River lift system, the river lift system is required in the places where the canal flow is either insufficient or absent, isn't it? Then tanks are the storage reservoir systems that cut off and accumulate the runoff water from the catchment areas, okay, the areas from which rainwater flows into the river. Then even some methods like water augmentation, okay, the rainwater harvesting, watershed management. So these are all okay, and we have discussed even the crop patterns, that is mixed cropping and intercropping. So what is mixed cropping and intercropping? The seeds of 2 crops are mixed before sowing in the mixed cropping, whereas the seeds of 2 crops are not mixed in the intercropping. Okay, the mixed cropping involves no set pattern of rows of crops, whereas intercropping, it involves the set patterns of rows of crops. Mixed cropping involves application of fertilizers or pesticides to individual crops. It is very difficult in mixed cropping, whereas in intercropping, application of fertilizers and pesticides can be easily done to the individual crop. Then mixed cropping, harvesting and threshing of the crop separately not possible, whereas in intercropping it is possible. And mixed cropping, it aims to minimize the risk of crop failure, but whereas intercropping, it aims to increase the productivity per unit area. So we ended the last class with the nitrogen fixation, that is leguminous plants growing as an alternate crop or crop rotation, and in the part of mixed cropping. Okay, let us discuss more about this nitrogen and its role. The experiments have shown that leguminous crops gives about 50 kg to 150 kg of nitrogen per hectare. The crop grown after the leguminous crop can take advantage of the availability of more nitrogen in the soil. Nowadays, a bacterial culture is also available. This is called this is a mixed with the seeds. Okay, nitrogen solubilized seeds they are called. When the seeds are sown, the plants are able to produce more nodules on their roots. Okay, apart from this, there are various kinds of blue green algae that add nitrogen to the soil. The blue green algae culture is also available. It is applied in the rice field. Okay. So, modern agricultural techniques are very important that an educated farmer follow all these things. Root nodules you can see here, the groundnut plant, these are the root nodules. Okay. So, in these nodules this nitrogen fixing bacteria is present. Okay. Next, so if the leguminous crop is rotated with a cereal crop, the leguminous crop replenishes to some extent the nitrogen taken from the soil by the cereal crop. So, but potassium, phosphorus and other nutrient element cannot be replenished in this way. So, for this purpose fertilizers, biotechnology is used. Okay. So, as a result of which nowadays popularly we are calling it as organic farming. So, what are organic farming and what is organic farming and what are organic fertilizers? Let us discuss. Organic farming, do you ever saw a herd of goats in a vacant field? Yes, during summer season when you go to grandfather's or grandmother's house, there you can see, okay, in the empty field these goats and sheep, okay, they will allowed to take rest overnight. Okay. Why the shepherds make arrangement to stay their goats and sheep in the field? Okay. So, why? Because these animals their excretory material, their feces contain more nitrogen. Okay. The organic natural manure is produced by decaying the plant and animal wastes. The manure produced from the decomposed plant and animal products has more organic material. Okay. This gives good nutrients to the soil, it makes the soil fertile, and because of the humus, the natural manure water holding capacity of the soil is increased. Okay. This is the reason why these the shepherds make arrangements to stay their goats and sheep in the field, okay, on the request of the farmer by paying some. Okay. So, the natural organic manures are generally divided into two types. One is concentrated organic manures and other macro organic manure. The groundnut, gingerly, castor, coconut, neem, jatropha seed powders are the examples of concentrated organic manures. Neem oil cake, groundnut oil cake, gingerly oil cake, castor oil cake, like that, it is available. Okay. So, they are these are also used as a fodder for the cattle and poultry also. The animal excreta, compost, deep litter are the examples of macro organic manure. The nutrients are richer in concentrated organic manures than in macro organic manures. Okay. Oil cakes, they contain more organic matter compared to this macro organic manures. By organic manure, we normally mean the plant and animal residues in the field, such as stalks and roots, cow dung, urine, etc. Okay. So, the percentage of various nutrient elements in 1 ton of organic manure is given in the table. So, you can see this table, the manure, goat manure, dry compost, dry organic matter or dry organic manure, neem powder, vermi compost. The nitrogen content, if you take goat manure 5 to 7, dry compost 5 to 10, okay, per kg per ton manure, this is the figure. Nitrogen, goat manure 5 to 7, dry compost 5 to 10 kg per ton, the dry organic manure 4 to 15, and the neem powder 5 to 6, and vermicompost 1 to 3. The phosphorus, if you take 4 to 7, 4 to 8, 3 to 9, 1 to 2, 1 to 2. The potassium, the goat manure 3 to 4, dry compost 6 to 12, dry organic manure 3 to 10, neem powder 1 to 2, and vermicompost 1 to 2. So, dry organic manure is made by mixing the cow dung, hay and urine, etc. Suppose a paddy crop is grown in a field and 5 tons of rice are harvested. Calculate from the table how much nutrient element this crop must have taken from the soil. Okay, you can calculate from the table. So, to replenish this quantity of the nutrient element in the soil, how much of dry compost needed to be added. So, if the farmer has an idea how much the nutrients are consumed by the crop and how much nutrients to be added to the next crop, to the soil for the growing the next crop. So, then the farmer will get a maximum yield. Okay, another green manure. Okay, if you say these manures have the term manure, manures and fertilizers, if you take, they can enrich the soil with various nutrients, therefore, they are used in the crop production. Manure means the manure refers to the decomposed organic matter obtained from the plant and animal wastes. Okay. So, which contributes to the fertility of the soil. Based on the composition, manures can be classified into different types: the farmyard manure, compost and green manure. Okay. So, farmyard manure means it is made up of a decomposed mixture of dung, farm refuse, fallen leaves, twigs, etc., which are dumped in the heaps to undergo the decomposition and form the dark amorphous manure, that is. Whereas compost means it is an organic matter consisting of rotten vegetable matter, animal refuse, farming waste, garbage, sewage sludge, etc., okay, which gets decomposed in the pits by the action of microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi. Okay, the next, green manure. Now come to the green manure. So, do you know that some crops are grown so that they can be ploughed back into the soil? Okay, such crop plants which are used as a manure, they are called green manures, green manure crops. Some examples of such type of crops: berseem, kulthi, sun hemp, lobia, green gram, etc. Means some plants are grown for their leaves which are rich in nutrients just before sowing the seeds of the main crop, and these plants are ploughed back into the soil. So, it not only maintains the soil form, but also increases its nitrogen and phosphorus content, which in turn increases the crop yield. For example, the green manure, especially the sun hemp, gourd, they can be used as green manures. Okay. The details of these crops and the nitrogen they provide per hectare given in this table. You can see this is the green manure crop. So, it may be the sun hemp. The percentage of the nitrogen in the different green manure crops, you can take lobia beans. Nitrogen content is very high, that is 7.1 kilograms per ton. Dhencha, it is 6.2 kilograms per ton. Kulthi, 3.3 kilograms per ton. Green gram, 7.2 more. Okay. Sun hemp, 7.5 kilograms per ton, and horse gram, 8.5 kilograms per ton. The nitrogen content which is added by just mulching, it is called, this process is called ploughing back these plants into the soil before raising the next crop. Okay. So, this is a very good practice nowadays. The percentage of nitrogen will increase in the soil. If the total weight of green manure crop in a field is 8 to 25 tons per hectare, the amount of nitrogen it provides on being ploughed back into the soil is 70 kg to 90 kg per hectare, okay, 100. So, it is very economical. The farmer who have no sufficient time for making the green manure are suggested to use the green leaf manure. Okay, any plant leaves are used as a green leaf manures. So, find out whether all the green manure crop mentioned in the table 6 are leguminous crops, okay, or not. Okay, some of them, so most of them 80% are leguminous crops only. On the basis of the table 6, explain the reason for growing the green manure crops. Okay, they add nitrogen to the soil. Soil testing is very important. So, the soil testing can be done. What are the advantages of this manure means? So, it increases the fertility of the soil by enriching the soil with nutrients and organic matter. That is first advantage, primary advantage. The next second advantage is by adding green manures, it improves the soil structure, which is essential for healthy plant growth. For example, increasing the water holding capacity of the sandy soils and increasing the drainage in clayey soils by preventing water logging. Okay, this is another very important advantage. The third advantage is it helps in recycling the farm waste, and the fourth advantage, it protects our environment from the harmful effects of chemical fertilizers. Okay. So, some disadvantages are also there. For example, the disadvantage, the nutrients present in the manure gets released slowly into the soil because it takes some time for decomposition. It is unable to fulfill the rapid demand of high yielding crops. That is the main disadvantage. The second one, they are bulky and hence the cost is high for transportation and storage. This is second disadvantage. And the manures are not the nutrient specific they are. Okay, hence cannot be used to fulfill the deficiency of a particular nutrient in the soil. Okay, as a result of which now the farmers are preferring the chemical fertilizers. Okay, soil testing. So, that is why this is very important. How do farmers know what type of crop needs to be cultivated? What type of crops are suitable for the soil in their fields? The farmer who are experienced, the farmers who are educated are able to make out from the color and the texture of soil. By seeing just the color of the soil only, they can say this is a fertile soil or not. That is by experience. Okay. So, you had also studied about the same in your earlier classes. So, ask a farmer, take an interview to find out about the crops that can be grown in different types of soils. Nowadays, the agricultural officer and the soil testing technologists are available in every area. Okay. So, just the farmer has to be educated to utilize their services. So, what is the duty of these agricultural officers? They will take the field trips, they observe the field and suggest what to do. So, have you ever heard about Bhusara Pariksha Kendra? Okay, this is the place where the soil testing can be done. Bhusara Pariksha Kendra, soil testing center. At these centers, the soil technologists they collect the soil samples from the fields and test the fertility levels of the soil. Different tests they will conduct. They will add the chemicals, they will see, they take the pH of the soil and the nitrogen content in the soil. Some specific test will be there for nitrogen, specific test will be there for phosphorus, specific test will be there for the potassium. Okay, especially these three. Then the magnesium and other macro and micronutrients, their content in that particular soil sample they will test. They give us knowledge about the soil. The testing centers are situated in division and the district levels also. If you send the sample of the soil from your field, they send you a report after testing it. So, by the report you will be able to know that which nutrient is lesser and which is more. This helps the farmer to select the type of crop, type of manure, types of fertilizer, etc. And its quantity, how much quantity of the fertilizer to be supplied. So, this will prevent the wastage and minimize the investment. This is very important advantage. Okay. So, agriculture is not so simple. So, all these facilities, all these services a farmer has to utilize in order to reduce the damage, in order to increase the productivity. Okay. So, here the Panchagavia. So, based on the disadvantages of using these chemical fertilizers, so the nitrogenous fertilizers like urea, ammonia, ammonium sulfate, calcium ammonium nitrate, sodium nitrate, ammonium nitrate, okay, superphosphate, like that, single superphosphate, triple superphosphate, dicalcium phosphate, potassium chloride, potassium sulfate, potassium nitrate. So, they are all the different fertilizers, complex fertilizers are there like nitrophos fertilizer, ammonium phosphate, urea ammonium phosphate, okay, DAP, diammonium phosphate, like that the different chemical fertilizers are used. What are the disadvantages means the excess and constant use of chemical fertilizers affects the soil fertility adversely, okay, because the organic matter in the soil is not recharged and the microorganisms in the soil are harmed by the chemical fertilizers. The second disadvantage, if you take, they also, these chemical fertilizers also lead to water pollution. If they are not absorbed properly by the plants and get washed away in the water bodies. So, therefore, the precautions with respect to the dosage and the time have to be taken while applying the fertilizers. Hence, there are short term benefits are there for these chemical fertilizers, and the long term benefits of fertilizers have to be considered for favorable crop production. So, as a result of which, so this Panchagavia is the recently using method. Okay. What is Panchagavia? This is also called as natural manure. Natural manure. The main ingredients of this Panchagavia, Pancha means 5. The main ingredients of Panchagavia are all the products obtained from the cow, cow milk, cow curd, cow ghee, cow dung and the urine of the cow. So, this mix cow dung and cow ghee, settle it for 4 days. Okay. On the 5th day, we have to add the cow urine, cow milk and the cow curd, and also add this white water of the kallu, coconut water and sugarcane juice. If sugarcane juice is not available, some jaggery can be added to the mixture. Okay. And then add banana paste also, settle it for 10 days. There are 4 days. After that, we have to add this mixture and again settle it for 10 days, 2 weeks over. Now, stir the mixture, stir the material in the morning and evening, then you will get a Panchagavia, the only sprayer type of manure. Wonderful. 3% of Panchagavia is helpful to grow the crop with a higher yield. It is also used as a food for hens and fish in the ponds. Okay. Panchagavia. So, these are the different ingredients. What are the ingredients in the Panchagavia? Cow milk, cow ghee, okay, cow dung, urine. Okay. These are all the ingredients which can be used okay, in the production of this Panchagavia. This is the method to be followed. First 4 days we have to mix all those the ingredients, then allow it to settle for 4 days, then after that again some more ingredients like the urine, milk and the curd of cow and kallu, coconut water and all these things to be added and allow it to settle down for 10 days. Then thorough stirring, mixing of these materials the morning and evening results in the production of this Panchagavia. The Panchagavia is available in the form of a sprayer, okay, sprayer type of manure it is. 3% of Panchagavia itself enough to grow the crops with higher yielding. Okay. Next, organic farming. What is organic farming? The organic farming, by using the chemical fertilizers, we can get high yielding for only 20 to 30 years. Okay. So, these chemical fertilizers when we use a limited period of time. So, after that 20 to 30 years what happen? The soil becomes reluctant to grow plants. So, these chemicals damage the soil fertility. So, if the soil health is proper, then only the soil responds to fertilizers. Okay. If the soil health is proper, then only the soil will respond to fertilizers. Otherwise what happen? The fertility is less in the soil, automatically we can't grow the crops. Otherwise using of fertilizers become mere of waste if the soil is not ready to absorb those nutrients. Okay, the long term or high yielding capacity of the soil. Children, the soil productivity, it is very important. Long term high yielding capacity of the soil will lead to the soil fertility, that is the soil productivity will decide the soil productivity. It depends on both availability of nutrients in the soil, that is the soil fertility, and suitable physical, chemical and biological characters of the soil. Okay, means that is called soil health. Okay. So, that is very, very important. Okay. Because nutrients are required for the plant for their functioning. Okay. The fertilizers are the chemical substances that are organic or inorganic in nature and are added to the soil to provide essential nutrients to the plants. These fertilizers are applied to the crop fields to achieve good vegetative growth of the plant and to produce healthy plants. Okay. The main ingredients of these fertilizers is nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Okay, children. Hope you followed or read the textbook. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.